Good morning, folks. You're tuned into Car Connection, where the coffee's strong, the stories are real, the wrenches never stop turning. I'm your host, Niall Motormouth Jenkins, coming to you from the Car Connection Workshop, where the smell of fresh oil and a little elbow grease is all part of our balanced breakfast. And around here, we don't just talk cars, we live them. Whether it's a 25-year-old Jeep Wrangler getting a second chance at life or a Nissan Rogue getting its brakes back in order, or a mystery leak that's got everyone scratching their heads, this is where we roll up our sleeves and get it done with a little wit, a little wisdom, and a whole lot of fun. The Car Connection isn't just about nuts, bolts, and diagnostics. It's about connection. Connection to our vehicles, to the people who drive them, and to the community that keeps Niagara rolling. Because when you fix a car, you're not just turning a wrench, you're restoring someone's confidence, freedom, and maybe, just maybe, even their sanity. We're here Monday through Saturday, every single week, helping you keep your ride safe, reliable, and ready for whatever road lies ahead. So whether you're a weekend renter, a daily commuter, or someone who just wants to understand, what is that strange rattle? And what does it really mean? So welcome aboard. Stick around for shop talk, expert advice, a few good laughs, and maybe even a story or two. That is correct. I could have a flashback, an automotive flashback, at any given moment. And then I got to grab it while it's there. Otherwise, I just poof. You ever get that? You go, oh, yeah, I got to go get that. Zoop, off you go. And then you get to the room and you're going, okay. Yeah, I came to get that. I'll come back later. Yeah, that happened to me just last week. Got to my toolbox and I'm going, and I did a 360. It didn't help. Sometimes that helps. Try that. Just stand on the spot and slowly rotate 360 degrees. And, most of the time it comes back to you. Well, good morning. Welcome to the Motormouth's Morning Drive, where we do things exactly the same, only different. If you're just scooting through the drive-through, make sure wipers are working and that they're not going to fly off. We have the daily weather in just a few moments. Lock down your order, but double check it. We are on hump day. People start preparing mentally for the weekend. What is a weekend anyway? Put that in an email, because I really don't know. 32 years, I only get 2 weekends a year. Yeah, that's usually around mid-September. But anything leading up to that, no, doesn't happen. So we're going to have a swiggy together in about a minute and a half here. So hang in there, lock it down. If you're joining us for the very first time, it is Motormouth's morning 8 a.m. drive. Get that out 10 times with a mouthful of beverage. And we need a 16-pack of Crayola crayons. Those are our favorite. And a leaf bag. Got a new pack today. New pack of what we call Car Connection laptops. Is a flattened down leaf bag, so you can write on that, take some notes. But, however, if you can't take any notes because you don't have a side driver today, yeah, you got, when the co-pilot gets in, you have to make sure you have that talk, the chat. Yeah, you know the one? The steering wheel is on my side along with all the controls. Yeah, and I get to pick the channel on the radio. Maybe you get to on the way home. Maybe you can work something out. So you got to let them know. There's only one driver in the car. I don't know about you, but that is annoying. That's like a bad rash in a place that you can't really talk about. Yeah, but that talk has to happen. I only remember, here we go. I only remember one time I did that to somebody. I took it for way too many miles. And then I pulled off. And wasn't too far from town. And I just get out of the driver's side. I go around to the passenger side and I go, okay, we're done. Well, what do you mean? Yeah, this is where you get out. Why? I said, because you need to go get your own car to drive because this ain't happening. You telling me how to drive and do this and do that every 30 seconds. It's only a kilometer to town. You can get yourself a bus. You're done here. And don't call me for a month. Thank you. Bye. The look on their face. I did go back and get them, okay? Just so you know. I know. I shouldn't have. But I did. But it was quiet in the car. I got to say, it was quiet. All right, this morning's... I was going to say our homepage of our website is the biggest drawer in our toolbox all the time. So you don't have to go looking here, there, and around the square in a box with a fox to find us. Go to carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com, ccbusnet.com. And I put that in all the description boxes for our YouTube channel and also on our podcast, which can be pulled from any platform, anywhere. So wherever you're pulling your podcast from, type in Car Connection Workshop and you will find us right there. We're on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and the rest of them as well. So come join us there. All the podcasts now are populating. They're exporting and populating and going public automatically on our YouTube channel. So when this goes up this morning at 8 a.m., which it is. It's supposed to be 8 a.m. right now. I'm just telling you. And figure that one out. And it will automatically be over on our YouTube channel. So all the links that you will ever need are on the homepage of our website, top right-hand corner. There's our YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, Stevensvilleontheweb.ca. We are the professional over there. Thank you to our Skippy who runs that website. She's done a great job putting together a website, bringing the community and the family-owned and operated businesses together. And there's many of them in Stevensville. That's a cool place to hang out for the day. That's where the zoo is. So just so you know. And there's some great eateries there. Fantastic place to have something to eat, grab a bite. And so she's done a great job creating that website to bring, basically it's a communal website, bringing business and people together. We also have our online merch store there, so grab yourself some Car Connection gear and know that you're joining Skippy and I in the battle. We're standing up for those that are struggling with addiction, that are ready and willing to deal with it. And the proceeds go to Total Freedom Addiction Campuses, Canada and USA, where a new life is waiting for them there. So thank you to all of you who have done that already. Just grab a little something in our online merch store and know that you're joining the crew here in helping those who are ready to deal with their addiction. Because I'll tell you, it's rampant out there and it's all age groups. You can connect with all our program partners on the homepage of our website. All their logos are there, and our nonprofit faith-based organizations are there as well. And just to let you know, we do not charge them for any advertising. That's not my shtick. You know, if you're going to help, come alongside and help them, we're helping them. So if there's anything you can do to help them as well, would you do that? Because the Crystal Ridge Dream Center, serving men, women, children, meals, love, and hope. They serve meals out the door between 260 and 300 every Tuesday and Friday. They're changing lives one at a time in the Niagara region. All the programs that they have running for the after school, for the kids, they feed them, they love on them, they create games that stimulates their little minds. They can take music lessons, and they help them with their homework. They tutor them. So there's programs running for single moms as well. There's something for all age groups, seniors, widows, adults, and I'm not sure if they will let me in there or not. I'm not sure, but I'll find out. I'll get back to you on that. But in all seriousness, they're working hard, and their volunteers are always looking for volunteers. If you can send some grocery gift cards, it's getting really expensive for them to put the meals out the door, but they're not stopping. They're moving forward. In times when community support is very crucial, Crystal Ridge Dream Center shines as a beacon of compassion and transformation. They're at 385 Derby Road, right in the heart of Crystal Beach. If you remember the Crystal Beach theme park, they're right down there. That's where they are. And they're doing a great job reaching out into the community and helping young adults, kids alike in the Niagara region. So anything you can do, they're not funded, they don't have any government funding whatsoever. It's the local businesses and people like you and I that keep them going. So thank you. Connect with our program partners, click on their logos, and that will open a profile page, and you will meet them there. All right, the morning weather forecast. Here's what we got for Wednesday. And thank you to Niagara Block at 5000 Montrose Road, Niagara Falls, the Greenville family. That's Kathy, Dave, and Dan. Great to have an opportunity to have a tour. And it was a great tour. I enjoyed every minute of it. Got to hang out with Dave and his brother Dan. They're building a truck in one of the other shops. It's so cool. Lots of stuff going on there. They have every block known to mankind, I think. Yeah. So if you're making a building, creating a building, they have designer blocks. They have your basic block, but they have it all. Interlocking bricks, flagstones, patio stones, custom, garden stones, the fancy stuff. They have all that and more. So if you're looking to build something, a project, or you've got some hardscape landscaping to do, they're your peeps. And they can also line you up with a contractor. Just speak to Kathy Grimo. She has a list of referral contractors that can help you get that project off the ground and get it completed. So here's what we got for today. So thank you to Niagara Block for bringing us the morning weather, the daily weather, actually. This is going to happen all day today. We just had a huge thunderstorm rumble down the lake just moments ago, so I a little late getting on the horn this morning because it sounded kind of like there may not be any electricity. So I just kind of rode it out for a little bit. 56 degrees right now and raining. Yes, it's warm though. It was curb day today. To the curb. Wind is making it feel cooler, about 52 degrees. Thunderstorms from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Yes. With cloudy conditions expected at 9 a.m. Today's temperature range, 50 to 64. That's nice. Nice. And feels like 47 to 57. So we are climbing the thermometer. And when we get to the 60 plus and we taper off, we will unleash the 30-day fuel savings tips challenge. The challenge. It's 30 days you do this, 30 days you do that. And the next 30 days, you're smiling all day long, and everybody's asking you why. And you can say, oh, I don't know. I'm just happy. Because you're going to be stuffing cash back into your bank account. If you listen to me. Because I know it works. Because I've been doing it for a long time. You don't have to be spending the amount of money you're spending on fuel. If you just change some things. As my professor would say, Motormouth, if you want to change some things in your life, you've got to change some things in your life. Whoa. Super heavy duty on that one. I think I'm going to need extra espresso this morning. On the rain side of things, not so happy. I walked across the backyard where our little oasis is, and I'm telling you, I thought I was in a peat bog. It is pretty moist out there. Rain scheduled for today is 1.05 inches. In the last 24 hours, 0.1 of an inch. Acceptable behavior. And yesterday we tapped out at 67 degrees. How exciting is that? Overnight lows are kind of staying, high 40s, low 50s. So that's not too shabby whatsoever, if you know what I'm saying. That's acceptable behavior here on the South Shores of Lake Erie. How long would you and your car last if you actually followed a proper maintenance plan? Yeah, for both of you. Well, today I will be filming the Car Connection Fleet Maintenance Schedule Kit. That'll be going over to our webmaster. Yesterday was like the Edit Nationals. I wrapped up about 6 o'clock last night. I did shorts. Not like shorts, like the garment shorts. I did YouTube shorts and got those loaded up and took care of all the videos for this week, heading into next week. And I'll tell you, that takes time because you got to do a pinned comment, and then you, when you think you got that all done, then you got to change titles on stuff because the algorithms are testing you in different markets. It's crazy. I thought the automotive world was crazy. Yeah, this YouTube thing, it's crazy. But I like it because it gets us connected. And this is the lane that I'm in now and have been carving it out through radio for 31 years and now 40 plus years. So now we have more ways for you to watch, listen, and engage. And remember, cars don't break when it's convenient. They break when it hurts. All right, let's have our swiggy. I'm like overdue here. And let's thank Earl and Louise Grant at City Auto Sales and Leasing for bringing today's podcast to you. And our morning swiggy, selling low mileage, top quality vehicles at fair prices. They don't sell any junk. No skunks and mink coats, no lipstick on a pig. The Greater Toronto Area's premier pre-owned auto store for over 25 years. And I'll tell you what, Mama Louise will not let you leave their building if you're going out the door car broke. She's going to have a little chitty chat because they care about you. They really, really do. They're not going to sell you anything that is somebody else's problems. Earl's a car guy, and let me tell you, if you have to drive 2 days to get there to know you can buy with confidence and be treated with nothing less than honesty and integrity, buying clean vehicles that look like new at fair prices, low mileage, would you have to have another swiggy? Well, let's do it on 3, 2, 1. You ready? 3, 2, 1. I could taste the local honey in there this morning. That's good. It's very nice. Okay, what are we jumping into this morning? So keep an eye for our Car Connection Fleet Maintenance Schedule. It's actually a system. And I'm going to tell you this right now. The system is the secret. I'm just saying. So keep an eye on our website for that page. I know Mike is waiting for me, our webmaster, to get the pictures of the kit that will come out to you. We have special pricing for those who are subscribed to our YouTube channel. And again, I see this algorithm thing going on. Please do us a favor. Just check your subscription, because I've noticed that with channels that I'm subscribed to. I'm just thinking last night, I haven't watched anything from that channel for quite some time. I'm not subscribed anymore. How does that happen? Exactly. That's my question. How does that happen? So I know lots of you are enjoying the videos. Help Skippy and I out. We put a lot of time into everything that we have, all our platforms, the podcast, the YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram. She puts reels up there, makes you guys laugh. And sometimes I don't even watch them because I don't want to know what she's doing. I don't want to know. But I know they're kooky. They'll make you laugh. Help us out. Like, share, follow. You know the deal. Ring the notification bell so you don't miss a single video. 2 new videos went out last night on our mini-series. We're getting ready to wrap up the final 2 episodes on the 2010 Dodge Grand Caravan on the front end upgrade. That's going to wrap up next week, so you don't want to miss that. We have a new series in the wind coming up, and that's going to be on a 1992 Volkswagen Golf Cabriolet. It's from California. I've had it tucked away for quite some time, and everything that vehicle needs in upgrades is all packed in neatly inside the car. So we're going to do a series on that Carmen Cabriolet. So that's coming out, and we're bringing that over to the shop. So today I'm shooting the video myself. Don't tell Skippy. On if you have a Nissan that has a CVT, continuous velocity transmission, they suck. Okay, so I'm just telling you that straight up. No sugarcoating. They suck, and you better be changing the transmission fluid on that with nothing but the Nissan transmission oil. Yeah, it's expensive, but that transmission will take your vehicle into the U-Pull-It yard. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Every 50,000 K, I don't care what hubby says or the armchair warriors, the specification makes it absolutely clear from the engineers that design that CVT transmission in the Nissan. Change the oil. 50,000 K. Not a penny less. So I'm doing that today and shooting that video myself. And then in the fall, I'll dump the oil again and change it again. Why? Well, it's at 121,000 K, and it has not had a transmission service. So how many transmission services should it have had to date? 2.5. There you go. So by the time the fall comes, that new oil will have, because you can't get all the oil out. That's the thing. But if you put in the 5 quarts it calls for, and you run it for another 20,000 kilometers, it's going to flush for you a lot of that older oil out. And then if you drop it one more time, now you're in top drawer condition. Now you're on track. So if you're looking at about 16 grand for a new CVT transmission, how do you feel about that now for your morning coffee budget? Gone forever. Okay, let's jump into the topic today. This edition of Car Connection is brought to you by our certified financial planning professionals, Tony Miele, Larry Tetro, 50 years experience. Listen up, folks. These are my guys. They're my personal certified financial planners for 20 years, and they're also my friends. These guys want to be a part of Car Connection, and they want to help you. Here's the thing. Instead of doing a survey to see if those around you will think the same way your mind is thinking about doing things, but your plan sucks. You know, it's not that we plan to fail, it's that we fail to plan. Get your questions answered. Log in through clicking on their link on their logo for either Tony or Larry. Leave your wallets and purses at home and get yourself booked into an hour and a coffee discovery meeting. Get your questions answered correctly and get on track. With an investment portfolio, if it's in the bank, you are not ever going to make a single freaking dime, let me tell you. Debt retirement, estate planning. If you got kids 18 years and older and you're not their health proxy, you need to find out what that is and how you fix that. And you don't do an estate plan on your own or with a cake mix, all right? It's not an I do it yourself thing. They have mortgage rates and mortgages. I've not been with a bank for 15 years. Not going back either. I don't like the treatment. Thank you. And life insurance, critical illness insurance, and a ton more services available to you. But if you're feeling overwhelmed with debt and you can't seem to see around it, over it, under it, or through it, get that discovery meeting, okay? Don't wait another minute. As I said, no one's selling you anything, no condemnation, but certified financial planner is not an advisor. That's the apprentice, and they sell you products. They don't do tax planning to save you from paying too much tax or not enough. They don't care what your goals and dreams are. They don't have time for that. The big guys, the big shots tell the advisors what products to sell everybody at the counter, and that you are just a cookie cutter client. You're going to get what the last guy got, and 10 guys before that. So get that done. So thank you to Tony and Larry for doing what they do. They are two amazing guys to work with. Amazing. You'll come away with a weight off your shoulder. We're going to talk about whether you want to be cool or not. Do you want to be cool? We talked about that a little while ago. Can you really look cool behind the steering wheel of a minivan? Yeah, leave me a comment on that. Shoot me an email. What do you think? Yeah, it's still open. The chapter's still open for that. We haven't come to a conclusion. So if you want to be cool this summer, listen up. Here it is. I am an HVAC tech for automotive, not for homes, not for the homestead, for automotive. That's heating, air conditioning, and ventilation. And this would be the time of year I would kind of begin to pucker and cringe, because as soon as the heat comes on for one day, just one day, we hit 80 degrees, my phone in the shop would go into Chernobyl meltdown. And what does that mean? Oh, it's hot today. I turned on my air conditioning. It's not freaking working. I got to work and I looked like I'd been dragged through a hedge backwards, and I'm not happy, Jerry. That's what I would hear. And that would be half a day. That would be like 12:30, 1 o'clock. I need to get the air conditioning fixed today because I'm not putting up with this tomorrow. Well, that's not how it works. We might, if there's a gap in our schedule, we may be able to squeeze you in with a shoehorn or a debit card, but you're not the only one who turned on the switch and it's 81 degrees out suddenly, and we're just kind of popped up from the high 40s, low 50s in a day. We hit 81 and you lose it. So I'm here to help you for that, and help your service tech as well, because we are not able to fix air conditioning overnight. It doesn't happen. We're not allowed to top it off. All right, so I'm going to cover that right now. Here's the answer on that one. In accordance to the Kyoto Accord, which is 80% of the exam to keep your air conditioning license, we are not to top off any air conditioning. If the refrigerant is low, your neighbor didn't borrow it to make a cake. So be careful if they offer you something. Hey, I made you these nice brownies. Oh, I've just finished a 12-step program on dessert alert. Yeah, I can't have it. Thank you. And move on. No, nobody stole it, your refrigerant. Nobody borrowed a few ounces or half a pound. It's gone because it was able to escape the system. So here's how we're going to go through this morning. Want to be cool? I'm going to give you 5 things. What it is, where it is, how it works, how it breaks, and how you could save yourself a ton of stress and getting to work looking like your clothes were glued on with contact cement and your hair looks like somebody else's that you don't like. Okay? So I'm here to give you those 5 things. If you can understand those 5 things, what it is, where it is, how it works, how it breaks, and how you could have avoided that hot, steamy ride to work, and you're uncomfortable and not feeling good about your appearance by the time you get to work. And that's not for the guys, because they really don't care. Most of them do. The ones that do are just way too much to be around. Yeah, they don't talk about the stuff we want to talk about. Yeah, they talk about, the new styles and the shoes and this and that. And it's like, is that the time? Shouldn't you be going? This is grabbing another swig. You don't mind, right? Okay, so number one. And you might say, well, it's a little early. Oh, no. No. We're getting there. We had a day of 69 degrees Fahrenheit. That's what I call the shot over the bow. The warning shot. Because we're going to have that day where it goes up to like 80, 81. And you're going to melt. So we're going to try and avoid that here today on Motormouth's Morning Drive. So here we are. First and foremost, yes, we can evaluate your AC system right now. Yes, I can. This I know for certain. I want to hook up what we call the manifold gauge set into your system, your AC system. And yes, we can turn it on and it will run. I guarantee you that. It will run. How do I know this? Because I tried mine yesterday and I knew that first anyhow. And I put a thermometer in my meat-ometer into the dash closest to the evaporator core. That's where the inside refrigeration system sits, because that's all air conditioning is. It's a refrigerator system in your car. I had like 38 degrees Fahrenheit. And I did almost pee my pants. It was too cold in there. You know what happens when all of a sudden you're warm and you get it cold, right? Am I the only one? You got to go. And it's now. So I took care of that business. Came back, reading the gauge set, and the high-low pressures are spot on. Spot on. It doesn't need an evac and recharge this year, but the FJ does. So we'll talk about that in a minute. So we want to do a complete air conditioning system evaluation. Okay? That includes hooking up the gauges, not just like these guys that do this. Don't fall for this air conditioning performance test. Here's what a lot of guys are doing. They bring it in the shop. They can't be bothered hooking up the gauge set because on some vehicles it's a little difficult. They take a screwdriver out of their pocket protector and they undo either the low pressure side, which is a blue button, or the high pressure side, which is a red button that threads onto the valve where we put our gauges. And they do this. Ready? They take their screwdriver. The cap is off. Psst. Psst. And they charge you $29.95. I kid you not. I got a car right here. It's in the shop. The 2008 Rogue on the checklist from another shop said it needed an air conditioning system repair. That's the one that blew 38 degrees yesterday with the meat-ometer in the dash. Is the system tight and right? You bet your bippy it is. There were penguins popping out of the dash and it was cold enough to hang meat in there. Exactly. So who tested that? Who? I don't know. Was hardly any information on the work order because I have a copy, but it said it needed air conditioning system repair. I don't know. Never walk another man's path. So anyhow, I'm going to do an evac and recharge on it anyway because I don't know. I have no idea when it was done last. So you got to start somewhere to get your car connection fleet maintenance system rolling for you. So that's a good way to start. Let's evacuate all the refrigerant out of there and clean the system out. and recharge it and then retest. And I'll usually put a dye pack in with the recharge so that way if a leak does develop, I just need to use my my black light and find where the green slime's coming out. That would be leakage. So first and foremost, we're not doing the performance test. We're hooking up a gauge set called AC manifold pressure gauge set. It has a high pressure gauge and a low pressure gauge, and we're going to tap into the system and check your refrigerant pressures in the system. So we're doing a pressure check and at the same time looking around at all the components and seeing if we can see any visible wear and tear items, because there isn't just one item that makes up your refrigerator in your house, okay? In your car, it's the same. You have a refrigerator in your car. That's what you have. And all the components are pretty much the same. Just that be a little tough putting your fridge into your car to replace your car's air conditioning. Although, one of my friends did send me a picture of it was a Ford Tempo. The dude installed a window air conditioner in the driver's side passenger door. Yeah, so he must have put a AC-DC transformer in the car to convert 12 volts to 110 to run it. It was the most bizarro thing I ever saw. I couldn't stop laughing. I thought, wow, that took some effort. That's for sure. That took some effort. I give him a 9 out of 10 for effort on that one. So we're going to hook up the manifold pressure gauge set to verify low pressure, high pressure refrigerant in your AC system, and check that with the manufacturer specs. But we generally know, if you're doing air conditioning, where the low pressure, where the high pressure should be if the system is completely tight and right, and there's no refrigerant missing and your neighbor borrowed a cupful. Next, so that's the big one right there. Okay, that's the big one. Hooking up the gauge set, running the system, putting the thermometer in the dash, the medometer closest to the evaporator core, which is usually over where the glove box is. On some vehicles, the evaporator core may be in deeper, and it may be in the center dash. So I will take two temperatures on that. I'll take one over to the far right passenger side and one in the center, and compare the two. And I put max AC, and we're going to talk about how to use this system. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. So stand by. I'm going to walk you through how to use your vehicle's air conditioning system and teach you some tips and tricks you probably won't learn anywhere else. Okay, it's my forte. I enjoy vehicle air conditioning. I did air conditioning on Mack trucks, Peterbilts, and Internationals, freight shakers, K-Whoppers, all of them, all the highway trucks. I did the AC when I was working in the trucking industry because I had my license for that, and I enjoyed it. The other guys in the shop, well, they'd say, Motormouth, you can have that. I hate doing that stuff. So anyways, next, item number 3. So item 1, it's time for air conditioning system evaluation. Item number 2, verifying system pressures. Low pressure, high pressure, and cabin temperature. Number 3, cabin filter. Listen closely. Take index finger on right hand, place in right ear. Cabin air filter. If your vehicle has one, change it. Thank you. Number 4, leak test. So if the system is tight, appears to be tight and right at the very least, if it hasn't been evacuated and recharged, then I would make that recommendation to the client at that time, that is a good thing to do to your vehicle's air conditioning. If you don't like to spend a ton of money on air conditioning, then you need to maintain it. It is not a forever plan. It's not. And on domestic cars, whoo, Don't even go there. I can't remember one domestic car that I didn't get up to my ears and alligators on fixing the air conditioning. You know, I would have older Toyotas like 1979, and they're still blowing penguins out the dash. There you go. It's the quality of the products. The domestics have always kept me in business all summer long for air conditioning repairs. Forever and ever. Amen. The foreign cars and even the European cars, their air conditioning systems are so superior. I can't even begin to tell you. So on the domestics, we got to work with the cheap, cheesy, nasty air conditioning junk. And that's what it is. They eat up compressors like crazy. They just don't hang in there. Fittings, hoses, connections, condenser, evaporator cores leak. The list goes on and on and on. So if you have a domestic car, I will pray for you. Yeah, they're tougher. But the general rule of thumb, if you want to keep yourself out of hot water, no pun intended there, slightly, evac and recharge every 24 months. Gets all the debris out of the system, the debris, we get it out of there. We bring out the old refrigerant that's been heated and cooled and heated and cooled and heated and cooled, and we capture that. Then we draw the system into a vacuum, and as long as it holds the vacuum for about 20, 30 minutes, we know the system's tight. So tight and right. And what that means to me is if it can hold the system in a vacuum for 20, 30 minutes, there's a solid chance there's no leakers anywhere. That's when I will recharge it. I'll just double check for you that there isn't a leak somewhere before I charge it, because we are not, as HVAC techs, AC techs, we are not allowed to send vehicles out leaking refrigerant. But here's the other thing. This was a question I brought to the instructor at Fanshawe College. I had to go up there and rewrite my certificate. I said, so riddle me this, teacher guy. And he's already laughing. I said, at the time, my representative from the factory of vehicles that I was working for, we had brand new cars that the air conditioning system wasn't working. The refrigerant was gone. So I said, so what are we supposed to do then? Well, you just evacuate and charge it. I said, well, where'd the refrigerant go? Well, there's this thing called normal leakage. I go, I beg your pardon. Aren't we working on the Kyoto Accord here, which is like 85% of the exam? The rules and regulations of dispelling any kind of CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons, into the atmosphere, punching holes in the ozone layer. We have to know all that. Well, the vehicles are not on the road. They're in the stockyards waiting for deliveries or shipments to local dealers for their inventory. They can leak in Canada, especially in the freezing cold temperatures. So we deem that normal leakage. Are you following me? Yeah, because I just looked down and I had to laugh. That's all. I just said, well, normal leakage. Okay, we move on. So it's okay that all these hundreds of thousands of vehicles sitting in inventory stockyards from assembly line waiting to go to the car stores and be part of their inventory, those are okay to have normal leakage. There you go. See what I'm saying? Oh, you can't bury that pollution here, but if you take 25 and a half steps southwest of this position, you can dig a hole and put it there. Anyhow, don't get me started on that. That takes me days to get back to normal, if possible. So I will put a dye pack in with that evac and recharge as a maintenance So that way it saves you time and money for me, paying me to do something that is already being taken care of. Right? I'm putting a die pack in so that everything is going to be just fine at the end of the day. Is that if the leak does happen, I've already got dye into the system and all is well, if you know what I'm saying. So that is set up for you. And then at the very end, if the system is tight and right and we've got the correct temperatures in the dash coming out, pressures, low pressure, high pressure is good. That's when I can tag and bag it with my ozone depleting substance number, a license to do refrigeration, and we take it from there. That's what we do. So I hope that helps you here this morning and that you get something from that. If you ever have any questions, I always put my email addresses in the description boxes. So take advantage of that opportunity and send me an email. Dial at ccbusnet.com or motormouth.jenkins@gmail.com. So make it a wacky Wednesday. Have an extra 30 seconds on your coffee break this afternoon. Drive safe. Keep it under 100. Happy, healthy motoring. And we'll see you in the next one tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Another Motormouth Morning Drive. Thanks for stopping by. Peace, patience, kindness always. And we'll see you in the morning. Bye for now. Side product, leaves, nettles, little seedlings, a hamster, a gerbil. Possibly you're missing a squirrel in your neighborhood. He's in your blower motor. Change the filter. If your vehicle is equipped with one and Buddy doesn't want to change it at the shop because some of them are a bit of a bear to get to, it needs to come out. And you'll see why. And if you go in our YouTube channel, you'll see examples of cabin air filters. In fact, the Nissan Rogue that's in the service bay right now, I pulled that filter out. There was a half-eaten chocolate something in there. Yeah, some kind of candy got in there and the wrapper, but the filter was almost plugged solid. That's how you burn out your blower motor. And on some vehicles, changing that blower motor, you might as well stand on your head or take the body off the car, because I think that goes in first and then they build the car around it. That's just my engineering idea. So there's some basics for you. Focus on the basics. And all these things that I talk about are there for you where you can watch on our YouTube channel. You can watch and see. So come and see what you're missing and learning the basic fundamentals, fellas and ladies, so that you know what's going on with your car. And you know what? That's going to save you not hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars in needless repairs. I'm not kidding. I've seen it for 4+ decades. I'm here to help you. And this is the lane I'm carving out and have been carving it out for over 40 years. Those who do see the benefits. Those who don't see the benefits in your mind's eye won't do it. And those are the people I hope that we can make believers in taking care of that piece of equipment you own called an automobile. It is a piece of equipment, and you don't need to be replacing them forever. You don't. Our oldest one in our fleet maintenance system is the 99. Yeah, that is the oldest one. I just had to think for a minute. Yeah, that is the oldest one that gets used all the time. This is the first time I took it off the road for the winter. I kind of want to save it from the salt. It's worthy of saving it from the salt. So let the other vehicles get assaulted, but they're protected by rust proofing that kills the acids of the road salt. So we're at that temperature right now. Right now is when you ought to be getting your vehicle in and getting rust proofed. But I would suggest to do this first. Think about the service tech first. Get any work that needs to be done on suspension, steering, anything underbody on your vehicle, brakes, emergency brakes. We're going to be talking about emergency brakes again because that seems to be a pattern failing component. And I have a van that's here that we have a noise in the back, right rear, and we're going to videotape that this week. Probably Thursday. We're going to take it for a road test. I'm going to be laying in the back. We're going to record the sound for you. Then we're going to bring it into the shop, back it in, lift the back of it, pull the wheel off, and have a looky-see what's going on. I have an idea in my mind's eye what's going on, but the owner's going to be here as well while we do that, so they're going to be able to see what I see when I see it, and then you're going to be able to watch that on video. So we have an epidemic in people not understanding or not utilizing their parking brake because it needs to be used every day in order to keep the brakes going properly on the rear of your automobile. I don't care what it is, what flavor of car it is. Doesn't matter. If it's got four-wheel disc, it has parking brake system in the rear braking system, and it all needs to work together in order for the rear brakes to work properly. So I'm going to pull over and park and leave it there. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for another edition of Motormouth's Morning Drive. And I hope you got a takeaway from today because all that comes directly from my heart. You don't need to be working as hard as you're working to make car payments. You just need to put in a little more action. That's all. Put in a little more action will net you money in your bank. It will put money back in your bank. So as we get closer to 60 degrees and we taper off and maintain that, then we'll kick into high gear, the 30-day fuel savings challenge, because I don't know about you, but fuel's $2 today in our neighborhood, $2 a liter. That's $8 a gallon. Yikes. Just wait and see. This isn't going to get any better, folks. And I don't talk politics, not even around the workbench, but I'm telling you, when you don't do your own homework, this is what you end up with. A bag of hammers. Don't forget, our homepage of our website has everything you'd need to follow the builds, the repair work, connect with our program partners, join our online community. Skippy and I were just talking yesterday. She's going to be putting more reels up than she has been on Facebook and Instagram, and also on our profile page on StevensvilleOnTheWeb.ca. We are deemed professionals over there, and we're going to be putting some articles up as well. Some featured articles. Don't forget to like, share, follow, ring the notification bell to be notified when new videos go up on our YouTube channel, which happens every week. There's over 310 connections you can make through our YouTube channel. All our podcasts are there now, and we're heading towards 300 videos on their own. So we just added 135 podcasts there. The entire season 1 is there, and all the way into season 2. And when I sign off and load this this podcast up, it will automatically populate on our YouTube channel as well. So you can find our podcasts on our YouTube channel. All the links and everything are there for you on the homepage of our website, carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com. That's the long version. Short version is ccbusnet.com. Grab some Car Connection merch. When you do that, you're standing with Skippy and I and the crew to help those who are suffering and struggling through addiction get to a total freedom addiction campus, Canada and USA, where a new life waits for them there. So grab some merch and know that you're standing with Skippy and I and the crew to help those who are ready to take on their addiction and beat it. Thank you so much for all of you who have already done that, for those of you who are subscribed to our YouTube channel, and for those of you who have joined our online community through Facebook, Instagram, Stevensville on the web.ca. And we'll see you tomorrow morning. So thank you to Crystal Ridge Dream Center. Today's a big day for them. They will be serving hot meals out the door, between 260 and 300 mouths to feed today. So pray for them. And if there's anything you feel you could do, donate some grocery cards, send a one-time gift, or become a weekly, monthly, annual partner. They would appreciate anything you could do to help. Become a volunteer. Find out how you can do that. They're serving men, women, children meals, love, hope, and changing lives one at a time in the Niagara region during a time where community support is crucial. And at Crystal Ridge Dream Center, they shine as a beacon of compassion and transformation. So search your heart, see what your heart would tell you to do, and take a look at the Dream Center, Crystal Ridge Dream Center, on our website. Get involved. They don't get any outside funding. It's small business owners and people just like you and me. Make it a great day. Stay out of the puddles. Have an extra coffee today. Get that octane boost in you. We'll see you bright and early at 8 a.m. for another round of Motormouth's Morning Drive. Happy, healthy motoring, friends. Peace, patience, kindness, always. Bye for now.